It's Fernando Ruiz Art.
There we go.
Hi everybody, thanks for tuning in. And today we are going to have a very special video, and this will be the first in a series because what we're talking about today can't really be covered adequately in a single video. And that subject is perspective. And a lot of my students at the Kubert School, where I teach, where I've been teaching for 25 years, a lot of my students ask about perspective a lot. And this year we've already covered it in the classroom, but perspective is one of those things that you really cannot cover enough. You really can't go over perspective enough. It's first of all, it's one of the most crucial aspects of drawing. And as I say in class, this is one of those areas of drawing where if you get it wrong, it always gives you away as an amateur. It always just broadcasts that you have difficulty drawing. And it's also one of those things where if you get it wrong, everyone, even non-art people, non-art fans, the civilians out there, will pick up on it. They may not know technically what's wrong with your drawing, but they'll look at your drawing and they'll know that something isn't right, something is amiss. So this is one of those very important topics. It's very essential. I'm going to try and cover it over the course of a few videos. I don't know how many I'll do in this series, but I'll try to cover everything, or the essentials, what's necessary. And as always, if you have questions as we go along, please let me know in the comments below. Likewise, if you hate this and you want me to stop and never do another one of these again, also let me know about that too. Okay? Either way, whether you love it or you hate it, click like. No matter what, just click like. Okay. So we have a square here. So once again, we're talking about perspective, okay? And we're going to speak specifically about 1-point linear perspective. There is 2-point, there's 3-point, there's 5-point, which is actually curvilinear. But we're gonna ease our way into this pool slowly. So this cube that I've drawn, let's pretend this cube is at what we call our image area. And simply put, our image area is the space that we are drawing in. So that can refer to your entire page. It can refer to a single comic panel for those of us in the comic book business. It is whatever space you are drawing in. Now, when it comes to perspective, and just to really illustrate perspective at its most basic, what we're going to do is we're going to put a cube into perspective, a simple cube into 1-point linear perspective. And this being our image area, this is what we're going to use. Now, the very first decision that comes into play is where to put that classic thing that you hear a lot about, the horizon line. Where do we place the horizon line? And let me just say, the term horizon line is actually a misnomer. It's not really accurate. What people really mean when they say horizon line is eye level. Okay, eye level. Now, what the eye level, well, let me go back. A horizon line, technically, that's where the sky meets the earth. So all this might be sky, and this is all earth right here, okay? Now, unless you're just drawing pictures of the desert, we're not going to really see the horizon line much. So that's really not a term that's helpful. Your eye level, however, Your eye level, it refers to everything that your eye takes in. Okay, if you look straight ahead, and you hold your pencil out right ahead of you, that is your eye level. Now, it's a line that goes right across your plane of vision, your field of vision. That is what we call eye level. And that's the line we need to put down in our drawing. Whatever our drawing is, we must always find that eye level. Now, where does it go? Believe it or not, it's up to you. It depends on what you want to draw, what angle you want to draw. Typically, you see people drawing their eye level as this line, and we could call it a horizon line too, if that makes everybody more comfortable. Typically, you see a lot of people draw their horizon line, their eye level, right around the middle of their image area. What this is saying is that we are level with everything in our plane of vision. We are standing even with this, and we're looking straight ahead. Now, let's say we draw our eye level down below, okay? Or we drop it a little lower. Well, now what happens is we're seeing a whole lot more sky than we are of the earth. So what we're doing here is we're actually looking up, okay? Now, if we instead draw our eye level up here, well, now we're seeing more ground than we are sky. So what this says is we are looking down, okay? So that keep that formula in mind. You look down, the eye level goes up. You look up, the eye level goes down. And that's important because, as I said, this is one of those decisions you get to make. You get to decide where the eye level goes. And it all depends on what you want to draw, what it is that you want to show. Do you want to show your box in an upshot? Do you want to look up at your box? Do you want to look down at your box? It's all up to you. You have the power. You, the artist, have the power. Now let's get a little scarier, and we'll go to another impromptu image area right over here. Here's the scary part about these nasty eye levels. The real scary part is if this is your image area, your eye level doesn't have to be within your image area, okay? Your eye level could be way above your image area or way below it. It could be way off of your image area. And this is where perspective starts becoming a bear, okay? It starts to get unwieldy. And I see this as a common mistake when people try to always shoehorn their eye levels into their, especially when their image area is a comic panel. They try to always force their image area, their eye levels into the comic panel when it's really better to just let it go off beyond the comic panel. It just leaves the door open for far less extreme shots or awkward shots if you're open to just, letting your eye level go off the page. And if this seems a little, unclear or abstract right now, hopefully after a couple of chapters of this, it won't. When we get to discussing the vanishing point, that also is something that can a lot of times people force that within the image area. And if your eye level is out of your image area, well, your vanishing point might be well out there too. In fact, let's say this is your image area, okay? And let's say your eye level is actually at eye level, but you might have a vanishing point that is way out here. That's not unusual. That happens. And really, one of the ways that I find is best to deal with an unwieldy vanishing point or an eye level that's way out of the drawing area. A lot of times what I do is I work small. When I need to figure out a complex perspective, I'll work small, figure out my perspective, possibly grid it out, and we'll explain what that means in an upcoming video. But I may work it out smaller and then blow it up. Or we can do the old trick, which is also kind of awkward, but people will take tracing paper, scrap paper, and just tape endless sheets off of their main paper so that they can just draw an infinite horizon line. To me, that's a little awkward. I prefer to draw smaller and enlarge it later. But that's me. It's a lot of this stuff just comes down to your preference. Okay, so my main point here is your horizon line is a matter, is a choice. It's all up to you. So where you want to put that horizon line, that's going to be up to you. So just to keep things simple, what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw that horizon line right across the center. So we are level with this box that I'm going to be drawing within this space. So I'm going to go right there. And later, possibly not in this video because we're almost out of time. But in my upcoming in an upcoming part 2, what I may do is I may move the horizon line just so that you could see what happens, how that can affect what you're drawing. But for right now, I am going to place my horizon line right at eye level. Again, just to keep things simple. So what that brings me to next is, and I know, people have heard that term vanishing point. Vanishing point. And I don't want to pick a vanishing point just yet. What I'd like to do is to take my box, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw the side of the box that is closest to me. Okay? Now in one point linear perspective, that side of the box is going to be the front. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw, and one thing about this, please pretend I am using a ruler. Please pretend I'm using a straight edge. I may for certain things, but a lot of times I may just freewheel it here. Okay, so I have the front of my box. Now what I want to do is show that my box is three-dimensional, okay? And for that, I'm going to need the vanishing point. Where does my vanishing point go? How do I pick where a vanishing point is going to go? Well, those questions are going to be answered next time in my next video. I don't want to throw too much at you. So this video, we've covered the horizon line, I hope enough. But again, as I said in the beginning, if you have any questions on it, please let me know in the comments below. And please click like, share, subscribe, all that stuff. And be on the lookout for part 2, the vanishing point. See you next time, everybody, and keep drawing. Keep drawing.